Alright, I thought I'd make this quick video just to show what I found inside my Ryobi Sawzall. So this is a Ryobi P510 Sawzall. It's an older one, and I was using it the other day, and it started to let out the magic smoke, or at least what I thought was magic smoke. That, you know, all electrical devices, when they die, they release their magic smoke. So and I thought, well, maybe it's the motor brushes. I've had that happen before, where it starts to melt plastic. So I dug into this thing, and I found something really interesting. And I had some trouble finding information on this particular model and the motor that's in it. So that's why we got this video. So I mean, here this is the working part of the whole thing, besides your gearbox. So I mean, other than the fact that I've taken the back off of this motor, I mean, the wiring is just the way it is in the tool. So what I discovered is that there is a fan inside this motor. You can focus. I know you can. There we go. So in those little slots there, you will see a little fan there. Well, that fan had become separated. Something probably got jammed in there and unstuck the fan from whence it was attached, and it was just jammed up in there, and it was actually jammed up against the motor brushes here. And once again, you can focus. That's what was causing it to smell awfully, and just all the friction. So what I did is, there's a metal plate that goes in the back of this motor. So it's the rear bearing plate. So there that bearing plate is. That's the inside. That's the outside. I did match mark it to make sure that I put it back the same. So it was a little bit challenging to remove. And then I was able to simply remove the brush retainer. Right, so and I'll show you the brushes here, because that was another thing I couldn't really find great information on. There we go. So the brushes are in really good shape. I have no idea how old the Sawzall is. I bought it secondhand. You can buy brushes for these. They're incredibly cheap, and as you can see, they just kind of lock into the back side of the springs with that little square there. I'll put the dimensions down in the video description. So so here's the motor itself. So what I ended up doing is this: I epoxied very carefully. I epoxied that fan back in, made sure it was completely centered and balanced. That is wild how the video actually lags behind what I'm actually doing. So I epoxied that back in. I've actually given it a brief spin with the battery, and it's all good. Is this as good as it was from the factory? Absolutely not. Is it better than what it was? Yes. Certainly, I could put a new motor in here. If someone wants to know the motor information, Here it is. So I was not able to find a direct replacement, but that's a very common style of motor. So I'll be putting this back together and putting it back into service. So one of the things I did in order to not get epoxy all over the contacts, the brush contacts, I did put tape around there, just so I wasn't too sloppy with it. And I was very, I mean, this looks like a sloppy job. This fin was kind of mangled, so it needed some extra support. So I have no idea how long this is going to last, but again, the tool doesn't really owe me anything. Now what I used for epoxy, I didn't just use any old epoxy. I used this Permatex plastic welder. I've used this stuff on all kinds of plastics, and it doesn't work for all. You have to read the package, but the plastics that it works on, it works great. I've glued 3D PLA, printed 3D print PLA. I've also used it on fiberglass on like Venturfan motors that have where the blades have come off the shaft. So yeah, so there it is. So if I put this back, let's see if we can do this. So we got plus and minus. Let me get this in the field of view here. All right, so I got plus marked, right? Get that over the shaft. Oh. Come on. Maybe if I work further down, there we go. All right. So we'll just work this in. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we'll get turned, get lined up with these notches. There we go. All right. And that'll all go back in once I put that back on there. And let's see if I can give you a real quick demo here. So I think we've got this the right way around. So there we go. All right. So that is the Ryobi P510 and the motor that's in there. And again, just for one last shot, get in there with that part number. There we go. Come on, there we go. There it is. All right. So I hope this helps somebody out. Would have helped me out before I took this apart. All right. Take it easy.